You have to turn your TV down a little bit once we start, okay?
This is Rowena Dooley asking Sol citizens to report for duty. Dooley asking Sol citizens to report for duty.
Hey, greetings. Welcome back to Soul Voices. I am GriffinGamingRPG, and thank you for being here, joining us today on Saturday. Whoa, right off the bat. Oh, Nick at Night. Nick, how are you? Thank you so much for this resub. Appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks again. Yeah, we're back. Today is December the 21st. We're getting down to the end of the year, and this is going to be this is our end of the year show. As you guys know, we're getting ready to go on break for the next few weeks. Today we're going to be covering what we call milestones. That's going to be our theme for today, because there is a milestone for us. This is our 100th episode of Soul Voices. We have done 100 of these shows, which is incredible to me. I can't believe that much time has gone by. And this is the youngest of our shows. We've got Soul Talk, which is, I think Soul Talk started. Yeah, Soul Talk started before this one. And then, of course, our main show. We've had a great run for the last couple of years. And so we're going to celebrate that today with the topic of milestones and talk about some milestones with CIG. And I really am happy to be here with you guys today. I just got finished with a live stream over with Space Tomatoes, Casa Black, Zero State, and Ali. And we had a really great conversation about the end of the year 4.0. So if you guys get a chance, check out that video on YouTube later. It was a great conversation for the past 90 minutes plus. We had a great conversation there. But let's get ready to jump into it. As I said, this is our 100th episode. And today for our 100th episode, we've got some AR Verpine, thank you so much, or Verpine. I'm not sure which way to pronounce that, but thank you so much for the 8-month sub. Appreciate you being here as always. Again, sorry for the late start today. I just got tied up with another stream this morning, but we're going to get ready to jump into it. And I have joining me today, good friend of the Soul team here. Where did his picture go? His picture disappeared. Oh my God. Where'd your picture go? No. I had this all set up ahead of time. Where did he go? No.
The streaming gods.
Oh God, is that what it is? You know what? You see, I got your name up there and everything. I had your picture. Where's your video?
I don't know. You want me to share it again?
No, no, I've got it over here. It's just, you guys forgive me. I don't know why. I'm going to paste it right back in. No, you know what? Something goofy is going on. Let's see here. What is the deal? I got to change that title in there too. Oh my God. I didn't even realize I had that title in there. Let me see if this is better now. If this gives it to, let's see. Why did that go? There he is. The one and the only Kelosal is here with me today. That is scary. Why your video wasn't here? You know what? I think I know. Right on. You know what? I think I know why your video isn't here. It actually is here. I think the problem was I pushed the wrong button. Let me try this. Let me see if this is it. Let's see if this fixes it.
Looks like it's working.
Okay, that fixed it. That did fix it. Okay, but it's got your old video there. So let me get rid of the old video and let's place the new video. We're going to put the new video in, guys. This is the way we kick off our 100th show here. With my technical faux pas here at the beginning. We'll do it live. Yeah, no. All right. So anyway, Kelosal, thanks for being here today with me, helping me get through the final show for this year. Thank you. Man, we've got some interesting stuff here. And I think this is the first time I've ever done this. I might have done this once before. I don't remember if I did. But our first, as you guys know, if you've never been here before, when we do Soul Voices, we take topics from Spectrum, from Reddit, or from the gaming community, from the industry, and we talk about them. And we allow you guys to come in and chat with us, give us your feedback, give us your thoughts on the topics as well. So if you are interested in coming in and sharing your thoughts on the topics that I picked for today, please take advantage of that. There'll be a link that will pop up in chat. Click on that link and it will bring you to our green room. And then from our green room, we'll bring you into our room and you'll get to share your thoughts with us and give us your opinions. And don't worry, you don't have to agree with us. You can have a different opinion and we can take that. But we would definitely love to hear from you guys. So definitely take advantage of that when it pops up in the screen. All right, my friend, are you ready for the topics for today?
Let's go ahead and shoot the dude.
All right, the first one. All right, the first one is called Ultimate Exploration by GriffinGamingRPG. Yes, Griff actually posted on Spectrum. So this one actually is on Spectrum. And I wrote this because I have just had this burning question. And Kelosal, I know you also are a person with the intention of taking advantage of exploration in Star Citizen because you are a big Carrick fan. So I know that that's something that you are interested in. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read my own post here for you guys. OK, it says, over the years, I've watched and listened to hundreds of live streams, backers and friends say what they feel exploration will be like in the Star Citizen universe. To be honest, I still don't know. Don't get me wrong. I've seen inklings here and there. We saw spelunking a cave in the Anvil Carrick trailer, the brand new artifact from Pylo 3 presentation at CitizenCon, and beautiful landscapes being traversed by the RSI links. We saw a presentation about scanning systems with probes with the Anvil Carrick. And who could forget the landing of the RSI constellation on the planet with the 2001 monolith? Still, these were just hints and snippets of Chris Roberts' vision of the Star Citizen universe. 12 years into this vision and journey has allowed backers to dream, theory craft, and manufacture our own universe, which I believe could be close, but could also be far and away from the vision Chris Roberts wants to make a reality. We've all been influenced. Oops, let me change this. I'm sorry, I'm not changing my words here. Jeez, OP. Where did I leave off? We all been influenced by our favorite television shows, books, and movies, and even human history as to what space exploration might look like in the verse. I believe most of us may have to jettison our vision of and be ready for what exploration means to Chris Roberts and CIG. Are we ready for that? Will backers push back if it doesn't fit the mold that's cemented into their minds over the years? As someone whose fleet leans toward exploration more than any career in Star Citizen, I'd like to present the question to Chris Roberts and CIG. What details can you share with us as to what exploration will look like in the Star Citizen universe? So, Kelosal, I'm going to go to you first before we get some folks that'll jump in and share their thoughts with us. But for you, you can tell me what you've pictured, and you can tell me what you kind of think that maybe CIG is leaning toward when it comes to this idea of Exploration. And by the way, what exploration ships do you have beyond the Carrack? Because I know the Carrack is one of them.
I have the 315P.
Okay.
I have mostly ships that deals with expedition. I like ships that are out there that can stay out there for long times. I have the 315P.
Okay.
I do have the Carrack. I do have a couple of MISC ships as well.
Okay.
The 100I and things like that. Ships that just allow me to just intrepid. These ships allow me to go ahead and traverse the verse and do some exploration. And I guess what I'm looking for, obviously, I've been asking for where are the beasts, right? We finally get them in the game. But the other thing that I've been looking for as well is where are your points of interest? And I know you have some of them, but not enough to carry the lore that needs that it deserves to be carried. The lore team has a lot invested in this, and I'm interested to see what they're going to give us. And so not only just in POIs, but it doesn't have to be in landing sites. There need to be some areas in space. We need to see some remnants of battles. We keep talking about the things that happen with Vega. We keep talking about things that happen with the UEE and other sects. Well, what about some of the things that happen with UEE in Stanton that we can go ahead and maybe go in space and see a POI and maybe find some things, or maybe participate in a mission that would take us back to that time period when they actually had the event, almost like a look back, that we have to go out and explore and find. These are the things that they have to be able to show and put in. Scanning, they got to do more things with scanning. They got to be able to allow us, there has to be a variety of different types of ways to scan to look for these POIs, and they don't have all those things, those mechanics in game yet. And it makes you wonder, because it has been that long. It has been over 12 years, and something that simple should have probably already been in game, and we just need a direction in terms of what they have. I think I'm over what they're going to do, because we don't know what they're going to do.
But do you think, to your point, do you think that's why we haven't heard, like I said, we've just seen snippets of things, right? But I've heard so many people theory craft about what they think. Oh, when I get my so and so, I'm going to go do so and so, right? Could they be wrong? You know what I mean? Because I don't honestly know. Like, we could talk about exploration from a sense of something as simple as archaeology, right? Or we could talk about something that's, like you said, mission based. That's, I go to a POI and I start to unravel some things as I get little hints and clues. Some people look at exploration as like, will I be the first person to find a jump point on the map that's not, on the star map, right?
Name a planet that's not been listed,
or something that's listed. There's, to me, it's still I see a lot of possibility and potential, right? But I just don't know. I don't know what my Odyssey, I hear like there's going to be exploration equipment, but what, or my Carrack, it's got drones, but what, I'm still trying to figure out what would I like to see those drones do? What would I like to see that computer on my do, that distinguishes it in the area of exploration?
Well, as soon as they put the mechanics in the game, we'll know exactly what to do with it. They just don't have it in there yet. And exploration is not just about, let me get to that POI. I spend a lot of time in my Carrack just flying around a moon or a planet just to see the geology, or just to see the geography of everything, and see, I didn't know this plant was there. Or, I took Gravestone out, I believe last week, and we just happened to jump on, I believe, Bloom and Pyro, and there was the lake there was a mountain view, and you had this gorgeous, picturesque sun coming in off the horizon. We landed, and we just looked. I just looked, and I was like, this is an amazing view. That, to me, was exploration for me,
But okay, and I get, and again, that's why I said everybody has their version of what exploration is. And I get that. With what we have right now, to your point, because we don't have the mechanics, that is a great form of exploration. I'm just curious as to what, let's pick a random ship, exploration ship. Pick one. I don't care which one you want to pick.
I say the Andromeda.
Okay. Aquila. Okay.
Right, the Aquila.
So you get on that ship, you go out. Now we did see that ship being used in a commercial, right? Where it was the one that landed on the planet with the creatures and the RSI, the monolith from 2001 popped up. So what does that ship have? We know it's got a scanning thing at the top of it, but what else? What distinguishes that ship to you? What would be the distinguishing thing for it? Is it because the way it processes information? Is it because it's got some?
Well, yeah, it's that scanning to a top to me is the I mean the Andromeda is supposed to be, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's supposed to be an exploration type ship. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first ones that we got in game,
right.
And you seen that, you know, Space Odyssey, that tribute to Space Odyssey thing that we saw on there. And if you look at the MFD panels, if you look at the MFD, if you go back in the day, you'll see on the MFD different types of minerals and stuff pops up on the bar chat on the bar graph, right? And so for me, and just to answer AR, exploration is my primary, mining is trading and mining is my secondary, and we haven't seen that. We don't even have the mechanics in for us to even scan. I mean, we do in terms of mining. Right. We do in terms of mining, but if you don't have a mining ship, you got an exploration ship. I can't see that. Right. I mean, you can when you come on your scanner, but I need to see a little bit more in terms of the details,
greater detail
of what's going on. I'll give you a great example of a movie. What's that? The Avatar. Years ago, I put in the dev channel of Spectrum, and I gave them pictures of.
Their scanning package
scene where they were actually at this big old huge hologram of the area, and you saw the tree of life or whatever they call it, and you saw all these different elements in 3D. Right. And I was hoping that Star Citizen was going to and incorporate that piece, because you also saw a lot of data in terms of this is the type of foliage, this type of green that's there. These people are there. I'm looking for all that. I'm looking for stuff that's really detailed. Okay. Elite Dangerous is really, really good. Is a good example of exploration. Went to an area in Elite Dangerous, went to an area where there was nobody there, nobody seen this system. I was there, and I got the entire system and all the planets named after me. Okay. That can happen in Elite Dangerous. So I'm looking for something on that level at least, where we'll be able to scan almost anything and everything to know data and possibly settle it if we need to. Okay.
All right, we got a couple people waiting here. Let's bring in Pops in space and see what Pops thinks. Pops, you there?
Yeah, yes, I am.
How are you,
gentlemen, today?
Doing good.
Right.
Hey, Pops.
Good. All right. Now, I want to give you what I think, or what I thought exploration should be, or hope it still will be. Okay, because I have a Zeus, right? I have the Zeus ES. Now, I thought that, as far as mission based, I thought you would go to whatever this person is, and they're looking for something. It's more like a clue. I thought exploration should have part of like clues, where this person, this mission giver, would give you a mission, and you would fly down to a planet. It could be a plant. It could be in a base, a box, or a piece of old equipment, or something like that. But let's take the plant. The plant, you go in and you may take a picture of the plant, and you return it back to that person, and you get paid. And then that person, that person analyzes and says, okay, this plant XYZ, and leads you to maybe a cave now. And it kind of progresses. And then you go in that cave, and it may be whatever that mission needs you then to explore. Maybe you have to pick up a piece of, I don't know, maybe it's a rock at that point. And it kind of leads you down a line of going more in that, and you're getting paid. But, you know, it's a progressive kind of exploration. Something like that. It could be an animal. It could be...
can I challenge you on that?
Yeah.
Does it have to be that linear?
Well,
right? Does it have to be that linear in terms of this is what you have to do to get this, and before you know it, now all of a sudden you can see that. What if exploration also could be where you see a settlement, and you wanted to land at that settlement, and you wanted to get to know the language. And maybe if you learn the language now, all of a sudden you have that additional on top of that. Or maybe there's an archive or there's a library there, and that library can lead you to certain things. It doesn't have to be just like, in other words, I'm saying it shouldn't be just a mission path type deal. It should be also open to that type of genre. That way it gives you a sandbox feel. Because if it's too linear, you know, I'm going to feel like I'm at maybe a World of Warcraft or what have you, where I got to follow this mission path to go ahead and get to this next one and get to the next one. I just want to poke your brain on that.
No, I think that's a broader way of doing exploration, because you can go and you can stumble across something.
Yeah, absolutely.
By accident, and it may be a clue or something like that. Maybe you pick it up and put it on your ship, and maybe you take it to someone and they analyze it for you. And or you, like you said, I love the library idea, and you research it, and then you find out it's from so and so faction or something like that, and you find out it's actually really valuable.
Right. So your idea is that it starts out with a small nugget, but it starts to build progressively. And I think CIG did Pops talk about the fact that they wanted missions to be where you could take on a mission, but you could have that option to continue, following the breadcrumbs, or you could just say, hey, this is where I'm going to stop with it. Right. I think that they have suggested the idea that you're talking about. So I think that at least that method, and like Kelosal says, how it could expand further, you have multiple options. So that's not necessarily like the linear path, but you could have multiple options as to, whether you hit a dead end if you go this way, or if I go this way, I go further. Right. So I think that's a great idea, Pops. That's a good idea. Okay.
It could lead to medical. Toby found a rat in the toilet. Yeah. And maybe that rat has a clue to some kind of cure.
Okay.
It could be
okay. All right. Okay. All right, Pops. Yeah. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get some guests in first, because I'm running behind today, so I got to get some guests in first. All right, Admiral, you there?
Afternoon, guys. How
are you, buddy? Good. Good.
How's it going?
Okay.
So I'm looking at your post, Griff, and I do want to let two people speak for me, and then I'll jump into what I got. And it's written down because I like to be succinct.
Sure.
So Talia says, what exploration is Star Trek style? Go out and find new life, new civilizations, boldly going where none has gone before. Because we're not going to be finding new worlds and new systems. Irish goes into, at the moment, exploration in Star Citizen is dead. It no longer exists. 1.0 will start with 5 systems, all of which have been occupied for at least 100 years. They maybe make reconnaissance, but there is no exploration. Frankly, I am pissed off beyond belief. Instead, we get points of interest. Personally, I could care less about POI. I want to find new systems with 0 POI. I want explorers and pioneers to create the POI. There will be ship crashes. There will be failed colonies. There will be trading outposts. But, I mean, right now, personally, this is me now. Right now, it's like, I feel like some people looking at, go find a new squirrel. Go find new types of rats in caves to be melted down to make a better soup or a better night vision scope. With the crafting thing comes in. Because, like you said, we don't know what exploration is. Exploration for a character is finding a new jump point. And they're supposed to be able to be stocked for quite some time. So maybe we shouldn't be finding a new jump point every session a group is on. Maybe it takes longer than a week or even a month. I mean, are people willing to be able to do that? But what's the value of something you find easily? Nothing. You can't. It's worthless. But if it takes time, the value of something can be huge. It could be worth, hey, it took us a month to find this jump point. It's the stable jump point. Yeah. That's like billions of dollars right there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that's what people want, is to have that, again, that a little bit of Star Trek, but it doesn't have to be complete Star Trek. But I mean, we have all these exploration ships, and like you said, they broached upon it, like science. They haven't really broached upon what science is going to do, per se. We have the science ships and how that giant antenna is really supposed to work now in the gameplay on the what's that giant ship? I forget the name of it, but. So those are some people just who are they feel like they've been, those original people feel like they've been kind of lied to, because one is original backer and he's like, this is not what I wanted. Yeah. But they really should come out and tell us a little bit more about what their plan is. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but they should have something on a whiteboard that says this is our direction, and they've been pretty close to keeping to that. Whenever they say, "Hey, we're going to do this."
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Kelosal, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, the game is still in alpha, still being developed. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people to jump off the sandbox with that type of stuff and just wait for the game to go ahead and complete in order to go ahead and really analyze where the game is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it made some very good points. And once again, these features are not there. There was something that I had in my head that I just now forgot in terms of exploration. But I mean, these people have some very good points. I just need to give us more of a direction on what they plan to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do like the fact that it could be the fact that there are no alien species that are in game that we know of that is hindering the possibility of maybe communicating or even doing anything on that level. Mm-hmm. But the other idea in terms of planets, what do you do with that piece? Do you go ahead and procedurally generate planets so you can go ahead and find that piece out, which they said they at one point didn't want to do? Yeah. Right. And now we're kind of getting something like that with this new system, I guess a little bit still with worlds being handcrafted. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with this piece, but they do need to go ahead and start, bring out some details on exploration.
Yeah. Let me say this too, Admiral, to your point about the posters, and I understand what the posters are saying, but that also goes back to the whole point of my original post was that we don't know. And, when someone says it's not going to be, well, since when? I mean, when did they get some great insight as to what it was going to be? Because I have yet to find out anything definitive about what exploration will be like. And then for the person who says it's dead, well, in the alpha, because they haven't started working on it, right? Yeah, it's not even an issue. So these people, this goes to the point of my post about preconceived ideas that people have formulated over the years about what exploration will be in the game. And to your point, Admiral, I think you're right. They've made the assumption that we know everything. We don't know what all the systems will be. We know what they've put on the star map. But that doesn't mean that CIG won't put systems in that we don't know about, that, to your point, will be discoverable because someone thought that, there's only 50 systems or 75 or 25 or 100 when there might have been actually going to be 130. All they said is that's how many they would like to have in the game at some point. And when those become unveiled to us, could be by announcement or by complete discovery, someone who randomly comes out someplace and they stumble upon this thing, like you said. And like you said, maybe it won't be until 3 years into the game. That could very easily happen. But I agree with you that, there's a lot of room for CIG to start talking about exploration now, because most of the careers they've given us some insight into the direction that they want to go. But this one's still very vague to me.
Well, one thing I will add as I go, one thing they can do is say, hey, we have these systems, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't mean we can't keep going beyond the known system that we know. We could say, hey, I want to go, second star to the right and straight on until morning. Mm-hmm. Let's see what's out there.
And see what's out there.
And that's straight up out of Kirk, let's see what's out there.
Let's just go.
You could just keep traveling and figure out what your fuel capabilities are, and then just see if you bump into anything. See if your scanners find stuff that nobody knows about, because if you think of a ball, maybe the system that we know is just like the inner core of when we look at the core of the planet Earth. You got the magma and then you have the crust and all that stuff. You get different layers of the planet. If you just expand beyond just what we know as the system of what we're saying, then maybe there's stuff out there that we can as players can find. Maybe there's more planets. Maybe there's more moons. Maybe there's Planet X out there that we can do. We know that there are systems that are known already in the game that are over 300 AU. I think one is 440 AU inside. So if you say, hey, this system is 25 AU, well, okay, but can we maybe see if it goes out to 50? How do we not know it goes further than that? So I think that's one possibility that they could do for us.
Absolutely. Let me. I'm going to go ahead, Klaus. I'm going to let Admiral go. Admiral, thank you for dropping in.
Thank you.
Yeah. In addition to what Admiral was saying, I mean, the other things that would be good would be things like time of day. You can't see this stuff until it happens at a certain time period. Just like Aaron kind of mentioned earlier, cycles. We haven't even seen the typical stuff that we always hear about. Black holes. Is that true? Asteroids, are they out there? Meteor showers, things like that, and so forth. Those types of things are not in, and I would argue that they're probably not in yet because they're still trying to figure out the game mechanics and the tools that are coming in there. Even though they say that they're somewhat done, I still think they're working on tools for that to pop up. So as soon as that happens, I believe they have already sketched out to go ahead and throw things in there.
Okay, let's bring in Kai Zinn. Hey, Kai.
What's up, brother?
How
you guys
are
doing?
you? Good.
Kai.
Hey, Colossal.
Here, brother. How you doing?
Oh yeah, good to hear from you guys. So I think this gets back to the age-old problem that I've always said with CIG. As long as everything is on the whiteboard, they are all things to all people. And so you've got 8 different nerds that are all going, I love Star Citizen because it's going to be this. And they're all thinking different things, and they're all super, super happy because as long as nothing's defined, no one has anything to hate. Just like a politician, when they're running for shit, everybody loves them because they're just making promises. As soon as they get in office, it's like, cool. You had a good time complaining about what the other guy was just doing for the last 4 years. But now that it's your mess, you ain't doing shit any better. So this is the age-old problem. Now, Colossal highlighted Elite Dangerous, and let me tell you something. He's exactly right. Elite Dangerous had the absolute best mechanic for exploration in any video game ever made. With the way that they did a model of our galaxy, and they did a full way that you could explore that. The problem is they did such a brilliant initial offering that then they patted themselves on the back for having the best thing ever and coasted on their laurels and put all of their development and all of their proc gen and all of their cool shit that they had developed into the roller coaster game, the theme park game, the dinosaur game, the other game, this one, everything, panda bears and any kind of bullshit ever, other than the spaceship game that got them there, and they let it die. So you can have an amazing, massive galaxy with full kinds of exploration possibilities, but if you don't put any shit in there, congratulations, you've got
real estate.
A worse version of No Man's Sky. Because with No Man's Sky, at least they put in some fun shit, even though it was cartoony and whatever.
Right.
I think one possibility, and this isn't like everyone says, well, CIG is going to do this, CIG is going to do that. You're full of shit because Chris Roberts don't even know what CIG is going to do over the next 10 years. It all comes down to he has ideas of what he would like to do, but then that hits realities of funding and technical capabilities and market people, and the board wants this and the marketing department wants that, and we have to sell this, and the nerds got pissed off at that, and money. And so like he's the only person that has even an inkling, and he doesn't even know what it's going to be. No one knows what it's going to be. People go into making a movie. They go on to make the next Star Wars, the next Jason Bourne movie, the next whatever. Everyone's got great ideas, like Mike Tyson. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. In the end, you don't even know what it's going to be until you've released it, and the crowd says this is what it is.
Right. No,
so
very good point.
I think one thing that they could do potentially, which could be brilliant, that I would love to, if I could put a little idea into Chris Roberts' ear, the one thing I would say is use these amazing systems that you have that are super bespoke, that you're putting 1,000 fucking years of developer man hours into to make so amazing. Have some proc gen out there a la Elite Dangerous of just some easy exploration systems and things that are out there, but then tie it all in with what Eve did with K-Space. Eve took wormhole spaces and they created these little proc gen temporary things that tied you. It wasn't a thing that lasts forever. It was a limited time thing where it would be, here's a map. So Stanton jumps to temporary zone 1, temporary 1 zone jumps to temporary zone 2, temporary zone 2 jumps to Pyro. So now you have cool things that you can do with developing interesting whatever, but you don't have to deal with all the tech debt of keeping temporary zone 1 and 2 forever. They can be created. You can try new shit. If it works, that's awesome. If it's a huge tech debt problem of like, ooh, this doesn't work, or this is clunky, or people hate this aspect, you can throw it away and no one's going to ever complain, because it was meant to be a temporary thing. And people will in fact go the other way and they'll brag about, I was there back when we had these weird funky jump hole, black hole spaces that led to this alien whatever. But then if they decide, if the company decides they don't want to go that way with it, they can be like, we got rid of it. People won't feel like they've been stolen something, because they knew up front, they were promised that this was going to be a unique experience that you would maybe never be able to get back to.
That's a cool idea.
And then if you like it, you can build on it. And if you don't, you can
change something else.
And it gives them the ability to be agile with sort of whatever.
Huh. I think that's a great idea. Yes, for those who didn't experience that in Eve, I think that would be really great. And you're right. You know, I've said this before. You know, I remember when we were talking about. And thank you, Kai. Thank you for dropping in, bro.
No worries, brother.
Yeah, Kelosal, I talked about this before. That when we talked about Pyro coming in, I said it's great to get real estate, but if we don't have the population to fill the real estate and the things to do, then all we did was just expand Stanton, right? So to your point, you were talking about the purpose of POIs and things like that. To make all these systems and moons and planets. But again, even with Starfield, if you remember, fans were disappointed because, Starfield had all the space, but only 10% of it was occupied with things to do. The other 90%, people were like, well, what about all this other space, right? What can we do there? The players will want to be able to go places and find things to do. It's great to go out and look at the scenery and get some great screenshots, right? But people do want stuff to do when they go out into the universe. Yeah. All right, let's bring in Vote Lesty. Vote, are you there? He's got his mic muted. Let's see if he's stepped away for a second. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Quite hear you right now. For some reason, I'm not able.
You can't hear us in Discord?
I'm on my phone right now. I should be able to hear you enough.
Okay.
But pretty much on my end, it's for exploration. It seems like they do have a plan going forward. I wouldn't say that they have no plan, but I hope what they end up doing with it is essentially make it the connecting factor to a lot of these other things, similar to base building and crafting, how that's slowly becoming the center of it all. That similar to that exploration kind of connects to base building and all these other facets, not as much as crafting and base building will, but it's like an exploration player will be able to find a location, sell that information, or give it to an org mate, and then go off and find something new. I don't think it's going to be this grand thing that everybody thinks. And of course, they'll probably have the ability, like they showed with the random popping up of jump gates popping up, that only exploration ships or certain ships will be able to detect those. So they are going to have things for exploration players to do, but I don't think it's going to be to what end that a lot of people are thinking.
I wouldn't argue that. But I think that was the whole point of the post. Was I don't know if anybody knows. You know, that's just it. You know, everybody has their version of what they think exploration will be. And we're glad to hear different people's ideas of what they will be. Like I said, they've given us little inklings of things, sometimes in trailers, sometimes from Citizen Cons. But for those of us who are very interested in and exploration was my number one reason to come to this game. I was into Eve and I did mining and salvage, and I love the idea of exploration. So the bulk of my fleet is probably more exploration ships than anything else, but most of those ships are mothballed ships. In other words, they don't have the mechanics for them, and they're just there for me in the game. And so at this point, and it's funny because there's all these other aspects of the game where people say they don't feel like the content's been given to their stuff. I can tell you 100%, Colossal said earlier, exploration really isn't in the game other than the exploration we make up in our minds. Like he said, when I want to go fly somewhere and look around. So I'm at the point now with us being at 4.0, going into Pyro and looking forward to 1.0. I'm looking for that answer now from CIG saying, hey, what are you guys? I know you've been working on all these other things. Can you tell us now what you see exploration will be? And I'm very curious to see what they'll say.
So it's interesting to see everybody's different viewpoints of exploration. I guess I have a broader view. Exploration leads to everything. Leads to everything, because if you want to go ahead and find resources, if you want to get a certain resource, it's not going to be everywhere. You got to go ahead and find it.
Explore. You got to explore to find it.
Same thing with trade. If you want the best lanes, you got to go ahead and navigate.
Explore to find it.
You got to explore to find it. We got exploration right now to a certain extent. If you think about it, it's all there, but people are sharing it on spreadsheets and the internet and all this stuff like that, to where it makes exploration mute. Because no longer is fun to go find things now, because everybody's finding it for you. Right? So, but it's all over the place. We got it in trade, we got it in research, we got it in mining. We got ice now, we got these different type of minerals that people have found and shared. So it's interesting to see what is each person's experience, or what would they like to see as far as what they think exploration is. But in a general sense, it's everything. It leads to everything.
Yeah, it does. And to that, and Volt, thank you for dropping in, by the way. Thank you. One of the things that was interesting, Colossal, I think you talked about this a little while back in one of our general conversations in Discord, was the reason why the, what's it called? The Guild of Sciences or whatever. Remember this when they showed us in CitizenCon? Yeah. That would be like the beginning of us seeing all these other areas where exploration, sciences, I forget what it's called. There's something of sciences, I think it's called. Right. But I like that idea of knowing that if I want to, on my own, like you mentioned earlier, if I just want to go, Admiral said, if I just want to point to a certain star and go. I also like what Pop said earlier about the fact that Guild for Sciences, it might be a place that if I want to get a job that's based in exploration, I can go to that mission giver and they may say, hey, we need you to go to such and such system and look for such and such and give us a report on it or bring samples back or something like that. Right. Like you said, it could be very broad. It doesn't have to be a very narrow lane in the sense of what folks want. But this is a question I was raising because I know everybody, even if you're a combat person, I'm sure that even they have some curiosity about what does it mean to explore space in the Star Citizen universe. So yeah, very cool stuff. By the way, someone asked for the link earlier. I dropped it in up there, so please feel free. And someone said, can new people come in and chat? Absolutely. I'm dropping the link in again. If you guys want to come in and talk with us, we are happy to have you come in and share with us. Let's go ahead and jump into this next topic here, Colossal, since we're going to move right along. This one was from Spectrum. This was from John B. Hawkins. And the title of it was A Letter from the Chairman, but Not a Word on Trust. Here we go. People in circles I hang around in have lost trust and faith in CIG. The number one reason I hear for a stop or a hold of financial support of the project has been a loss of trust of CIG. Second, most common issue in faith of CIG being able to complete a task without fumbling it. The Paladin Q&A, the Galaxy construction module, and other dramas should have shown CIG why there's an overall feeling of lack of trust. The release of 4.0 gutted to a live environment is just another task CIG pushed out the door just to stick the, hey, we got it out badge on it. Just like the band-aided cargo refactor that is still a mess of band-aided features, along with about every gameplay loop having blockers or bugs that make them incomplete or just a mess. Same with missions and mission rewards being botched or delayed, which should be a basic feature of any game of this style. It's hard to have faith in a company and a team that have dropped the ball so many times, and worse, dropped the ball and doesn't bother picking it back up. I'm pretty sure there are some very talented and dedicated people at CIG, but there's some major issues somewhere, and I really hope that they get it sorted. CIG could start with better communication and less tone-deaf marketing. I think it would help to begin to earn back our trust and faith in the dream that is Star Citizen. Yeah. this conversation has come up plenty of times online, Spectrum, in our Discord. And I just got finished Kelosal just on Space Tomato show. And when I was making one of my closing statements about it, they were asking, how did I feel about this year in 4.0 and going into next year? And I said, I'm not worried about CIG, but I am worried about the community. And I worry about the community from an aspect of the length of time that this project has been going on, that there are people who've come in at different stages of the development. And for the people who were here in the beginning, who heard the vision, who sat through the 10 for the chairman, they may have a certain perspective or knowledge base that helps them kind of navigate versus the person who may have come in, let's say in 2017, and they came in and they, have a certain amount of information, but they weren't around back for the around the verse days and reverse the verse days. They weren't there for those, what do we call it? Grassroots days, of when the company was small. Then you got the people, like you said, who came in pre-COVID, 2019, around that time. Then you got the rush of people who came in through the COVID period of 2022, 2023. They're all in these different stages of what they see as progress in Star Citizen. Some people feel like there's a feeling of trust lost, and for different reasons. Some people feel, some people say CIG promised. Some people say no, CIG didn't promise. They said this is what they want to do. It's their intention. Some people, there's all these different definitions of when CIG speaks, what people hear, and what they embrace. You and I are in a different space, and I want to give space to those people who struggle. Right? Because one of the things we try to do is help people with our shows to understand. I don't want to kick anybody who's down or feeling a certain kind of way. And I don't want to invalidate when people have feelings, because gaming has become what used to be a subculture, geek world, nerdy thing, has become an actual part of culture and the reality in people's lives. I'm not talking about because of, having a screen rage or something. I mean, people literally circle their lives around gaming because it has become a social contact for them. It has become a time investment. It has become, monetary investment. There's been emotional investment. So I don't want to diminish the struggle that some people have. But I do struggle. I personally struggle with the fact that when something moves from PTU to live, that there's some type of translation that live means ready to play and everything's fine. And it doesn't. It just means that the game is in a fairly playable state, but it's not bug free. It's not broken. It's, but gamers don't come from that world. Gamers come from a game that when you tell somebody it's playable and it's live, that they come with a certain expectation of the game being at a certain place. And I struggle with that. For those players who don't know. And I know it's very easy to say, well, they should know, but that ain't how the world operates. So I don't know. I have difficulty. Let me bring in Pops in space, and then we'll throw some feedback in after they come in.
I have a lot to say on that.
Okay, Pops. What you got, Pops?
Yeah. Griff, I studied. I mean, I not studied. I struggled is the word. With when I first came into the game, I thought that the live portion was fixed. Everything should be relatively working correctly, but it is a live alpha, and I think a lot of us don't really look at it and understand what alpha means. They just maybe they mean it's a step from A, B, and C. And maybe in their mind, C is the complete the completed project or whatever. But alpha means that there's bugs, there's things that don't work. And like Disco says, this is I guess you could name it an alpha development stage if you want, instead of saying live. But Yeah, there's confusion in the words that they do, and they could be more clear to certain people to put up a definition. But then, Griff, they wind up with a Star Citizen Wikipedia explaining alpha. So you got to come in, you got to find out, and I think a lot of it is that you have to do your own research. If you spend $60 to come in and see, you're out $60 if it doesn't. If it doesn't fit your definition, and then you wind up waiting till it goes to 1.0.
Okay. All right, Pops. All right, thanks.
And go ahead. One other thing.
Sure.
Like you said, they don't promise us something in an alpha. They said we're going to try to get cargo done. They never said cargo was going to be complete. That's it. They said we're going to try to get cargo, and people want it to be what they want their hopes to be. So
Okay. Do you think, Pops, that because CIG puts out videos and trailers that show a working game, but then they come to a game that doesn't work, that's what creates some of the conflict?
Griff, to be honest with you, do they put out a video with broken stuff in it?
No.
No. What company would do that?
Right. Right. No. But you get my point. My point is,
I get your point.
It's one thing to look at a trailer and say that's the potential of the game, but that's not how it's communicated. And I'm not saying CIG is communicating. I'm just saying that's not the communication. The communication is this is Star Citizen. That's what the trailer says. This is Star Citizen. We know that this is Star Citizen eventually. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, do you think that is part of it? Because if people don't see those trailers and commercials as this is the direction we want to go, this is what the game we want to build, versus 4.0 playable now, right?
Griff, I'm going to tell you straight up, brother. And this is going to sound, but you are absolutely right. Those commercials are fantastic.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Those commercials look, man, they some of the best, or it may be the best video game commercials I've ever seen. Before, but oh wow, that message is your personal one.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. All right, Pops. Thank you, brother. Okay. All right, let's bring in Kai Zen, and then we got to bring in Cypher. Hey, Kai.
I have a
sure
comment on this section too, Griff, but I want to hear what Kai has to say about this as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So CIG did never promise nothing but to take your money, and I trust that they will always do that. I trust that CIG will market the hell out of shit. I trust that CIG will blow every deadline. I trust that CIG would put out stuff that's janky that don't work because they tell you that it's an alpha and it's to test it. If it worked, it would be launched. They're working on shit. It's a lot of ideas. I trust that they're going to mismanage a certain amount. I trust that they're going to do some brilliant shit. I trust that they're going to do some stupid shit. But as far as people are always like, they promised this, they said this, they literally put right in the thing like a description written up by lawyers that says, you are giving us your money and we promise nothing other than we will take this money. We'll try to do a thing. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Caveat emptor. And I don't say this by way of white knighting for the company and saying everyone is wrong. Everybody. No, I think there's a lot of people that should stay away from this project. I think because it's not in a position where whatever, and you're going to get frustrated. I don't play the game right now, and I have no intention of playing the game for maybe another year or so because I'm over it. I played it a good bit. I did a lot of testing. I was frustrated by dumb shit. I was frustrated by getting murdered by elevators. I was frustrated by, spawning in a ship, taking the elevator up to the hangar and seeing my ship upside down, bouncing up and down off the thing. And I went, you know what? I'd rather go play games that are made.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Yeah.
But like, for the people that love this and are like all in, God bless you.
Okay.
For the people that are like, screw this shit, God bless you. Just know what you're be a grown up going into this. I think the main problem with people that lose their shit over this game are people that do dumb stuff like put thousands of dollars of debt into buying packages and then go, because this game is going to be out next year, and then whatever. And it's like, you're mad because you can't handle your spending. That's not, if you buy the $40 package, I don't think there's anybody that bought the $40 package that has a sore asshole over this game. I think it's the people that spent thousands that are losing their shit. And you know what? That's on you, buddy.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Kai, thank you. All right, Klaus, you said you want to say something before I bring Cypher in?
Yeah, so one thing that I do want to thank Kai on was that statement that he made last week about CIG, about giving too much information. I firmly 1,000% thank Kai on that one, because I said it for years and years that CIG is way too transparent. Way too transparent, and it's probably because of the marketing system that they have that allows them that they have to continue on doing that to sell these ships. That's the conversation y'all had last week. But it goes into this situation of trust, because that's what the dude is talking about, trust here. What I would tell people, and I see their concerns, and I do want to sympathize with these people. I really do. But the other part of this is, and I'm speaking I'm an old backer. I've been around. I've seen Chris Roberts' works as Wing Commander, and I follow Chris Roberts' works and blah blah blah. And I was happy with that. And now here we are, 2012. So I've been around since 2012, basically. Okay. I would tell people not to be too vulnerable where they give up their trust on somebody else's behavior or idea. When you do that, you allow yourself to start coming up with these rhetorical rants, and they promised us this and they promised us that, and honestly, they promised you nothing. And this is a business, and they promised you nothing. So that's why I tell people, don't put too much in terms of that. I know, trust me, I get it. I put all my money in EverQuest Next. You talking about trust? A company that bombed and took my money and left. CIG hasn't done that. Still around, still developing a game. So I would tell people to, when it comes to that, I mean, literally, a company went ahead and said, we're developing this game, and oops, we're not developing that. We're taking all your money. Sorry. Way to go, Sony Entertainment. So with that, so I'm still sore on that. My butt is hot.
I'm laughing. It still got you going.
And I look at people on this, and they're like, this game is still around even after 12 years. They're still around developing the game. So I always tell people, like I said, I'm very sympathetic to them, but coming from a teaching standpoint, you got to take account for your own actions. And calm down off of, you cannot control other stuff. Okay. You really can't. Enjoy the ride.
Let's bring in Cypher. I'm still laughing about that EverQuest Next thing. That is so funny. Cypher, I know. Hey, Cypher, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys today?
Ooh, listen to that voice. Boy, you can come on here anytime. Yes. Good night.
Barry White, bring it on 2.0.
Hey, shit happens, so do I. Okay. I've been in Star Citizen for about roughly 4 years. Okay. The thing that got me hooked was I happened to come across a YouTube video. Someone was playing this kick-ass fucking game. And I looked at it and I was like, that's what I want. That's what I need in my life. And that is something that I will throw down for. I dropped within 2 weeks, $3,000.
Wow.
And at that time, it wasn't a big deal. It was one of those things like, you know what? I believe in what I believe in what they're saying could be possible. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, elevators kill people. Well, fuck, that shit happens in real life too, okay? I mean, there's a lot of things that I cannot get from any other game that I want and I need in a game. And the thing about it is that if you're going to put the time and, of course, money, I mean, yeah, people say buy the $45, starter pack, and that's all you ever have to do. Great. For me, the thing was I got caught up in the LTI loop. But
understood.
The way I see it is because it's like, for a new person coming into this game, if they watch those commercials, man, oh shit, that's a cyber boner waiting to happen. Okay, but when it comes to actually getting into the game and realizing that, yeah, people are saying it's an alpha, but it looks playable. There are aspects of it that are playable. There are aspects of it that you just stay the fuck away from because everybody says, hey, this is bad juju. And I kind of like the duality of it.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that if you feel like soloing, you can. Hopefully it's a good gameplay, you know, because the server jank or whatever, or someone comes along and griefs you because they want your shit, you know, whatever. Right. But I also like the aspect of if you join an org or you meet a few friends and you guys hit it off and you guys play every day and whatever, that to me is a great game as well. So the thing that I'm most looking forward to when this all actually comes to fruition is the fact that it will be a playable game at some point. Maybe not even in our frickin' lifetimes. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that technically they could be setting this game up to be a generational, you know, happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. That might even be like the first game I've ever known of that is set up possibly like that. Yeah. I might be able to, you know, let my kids inherit my account or something like that. Yeah. And this whole death of a spaceman thing everybody's talking about, well, yeah, shit happens. But I would rather have a death of a spaceman situation than a game that just disappears. Yeah. Because then you have millions upon millions of people that, whether it was a $40 investment or a $50,000 investment, you have all of those people that just lost friends, just lost time, just lost energy and effort, just lost their fucking minds. Yeah. Because to some people, that is their life.
It is, yeah. Let me ask you a question, Cypher. Something you said, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't want to lose this. Because something you said that was kind of important to me. You said that when you saw this, you felt like, and I'm sure you've gamed over the years, but it sounds like
with a PC games.
Okay, so but it sounds like, and this isn't the first time we've heard this, there was something about this game that stood out that also made you be willing not to just spend money, but take the risk. I mean, there is risk in whether you spent the 45 or 4,000, because there's a lot that they're trying to do that in many ways, some ways have been done by other companies and some things that haven't been done. Do you feel that maybe that's why people feel that way? Because there's something that keeps bringing them back? Like, because most of us, when there's something we're not interested in and we don't care about it, we walk away, right? If I'm losing trust, I'm gone. But exactly, there's something that makes gamers, regardless to how good or salty they feel, that they keep coming back to this. I don't know how many people have said, even if I go play something else, the newest thing that comes out, I find myself coming back to this broken, busted Star Citizen. Do you think that maybe there's something different about this, which is why people feel the way they do?
There's a couple of ways I look at that particular situation. Okay. One, if you apply it to real life aspects, you got those what if relationships in everyday life. You know, you've got that person that, oh my God, what if, you know, this, what if that, how would my life have changed? Okay. And that's something that will bring someone back a lot if they get stuck on that what if aspect. If that becomes their driving factor, then great. You know, some people could find a fault in that. But then you have the aspect of, I've put my time, I've put my effort, and let's see where this goes. So they look at it from a love-hate relationship. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what a lot of people actually have in the game. Okay. Or that are partaking in the game, because it looks mind-blowingly beautiful. it is something that when it is a good playthrough, it is phenomenal. And it is something that if you were to sit there and say, hey, I just saw this new game and I want you to check it out with me. You guys come in on a free flight, which there are very few games that actually allow certain times of the year that people can come in and check out what the game has to offer free. You know, especially if it's a pay to play thing,
right?
Whether it's to pay to buy in, pay to pay, pay to play for per month, whatever. And so I think that has a lot to do with the game dynamic. You've got people that come in and say, dude, this game is freaking awesome. And how do I get into it? And then you have people that come in and say, yeah, this game looks awesome. But, as a lot of people say, Elite Dangerous is better. I don't know. I played Elite Dangerous. I've played, Eve. I've played quite a few games. But this game, for me, holds something that I cannot get in any other fucking game.
Okay.
Like, dude, what game do you know? You wake up, you get to your ship, you have to procedurally go through the ship. Whether it's open doors by themselves or not, you got to go through all the steps to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to enjoy that aspect and that gameplay and that physicalized universe in our heads, that's what draws people into the game, whether it's PvP, exploration, bunkers, just flying around, farting in the breeze. Who cares? If that's the aspect of the game that you enjoy, go for it. Because it's the only game you're going to get it in.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, Cypher. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
I'm Batman.
you made Gladstone happy. I know you made. Oh God. Thank you, Cypher, for dropping in, man. And you're always welcome to come back. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bravo.
That's great stuff. Oh, Gladestone, he made your wish come true. Yeah, that voice is great. Yeah, but it's, and again, we're hearing from different people. Like I said, Klaus and I've been around here for over a decade. He's been here for 4 years. You're going to have different opinions and different feelings about this. Let's get Almost in, and then Admiral. Then we're going to get to our next topic here. Almost.
Morning, good sir.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit discombobulated. How can I go after that person? I almost felt like leaving chat. I was like, I can't compare. But as far as the whole lost trust thing goes, so again, I've only been in here since 2022, February of 2022. So I don't have new eyes, but I got fresher eyes than a lot of the people who's saying they've lost trust. I do feel like people who've been around for the 10-year plus mark have every right to complain because people who have been around that long have allowed the game to get to this point to where I'm able to play it and enjoy it. So hats off to you. I could not be an initial backer because although I do like to play alphas and stuff like that, that type of alpha is like straight on like we're still developing. These aren't even our assets yet. When it's that far back, then it's like oh my goodness, I can't do it. We recently did recently, that was like 9 months ago, PAX Day. I enjoyed PAX Day, but then I started realizing that they are not even using their own assets and still building out their own, and I was like, okay, this is the year one of a 10-year plus project. But I've said this before, I've played Wildstar Alpha, I've played Firestorm, I think it's called. I've played a ton of alphas and betas, and for me personally, I don't feel like CIG has lost any trust. I understand that I am new, but also comparing this game to other games that have alphas, I would say, and I've said this again before, this is the best alpha I've ever played. It is the most expansive alpha. It's the largest alpha I've ever played. This is an. I understand too how people can get confused with the live scenario. It feels like it should be a live game. I think people need to really take a step back and understand it feels like a live game, but it is not a live game. It is still an alpha. Going back to what you said earlier about even you struggling with the recent patch of 4.0 preview, but is it alive? Well, most people who considers things that are in a playable function, are comparing this live release to a World of Warcraft PTU live release, or a game that's already has its footing, a Star Wars: The Old Republic live release. But again, when they're saying the preview to live, it's still alpha. You know, now instead of being alpha, now it's just normal alpha.
Right.
So
yeah,
I think,
do those words, I mean, you know, we always say words matter, right? And I think, again, for those of us who understand, or at least we feel we understand, have a good grasp of what CIG, how they structure things. Like, I know when I see something go, okay, here's what I'm seeing. For the general gamer, if something's in the PTU, right, the general feeling is that it's in there and it's buggy. It's gone from Evocati. It's in there, whether it's the tech preview, whatever, those are all buggy. But when we say live, that means that the game is now moved from buggy to playable. Now let me finish.
Yeah.
I wanted to read the definition because this is to the point. When you talk about, and my question was just a general question. It was, what is alpha in game development? And this is what popped up. And there's several answers here, but in general, they're all saying the same thing. Alpha is a standard term to denote a milestone release during production in which a game functionality is all included, but bug ridden and not optimized. Game content is largely represented, but may require polish, and which is considered sound enough for not deep playing, but deep testing.
Oh, perfect.
Ta-da!
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Ta-da!
I'm glad you read that.
So mind you, that is the definition that came up. I've got several of them. You guys can look them all up. Okay. But it wasn't from Wikipedia either. Now, and Andy, I know Wikipedia has a good one. Theirs is very extensive too. But again, that's okay when I reference that. But in general, when you advertise and you say playable now, that is not what this says. You know what I mean? So I think that to the poster's concern, when they talk about trust and stuff, and I think Kelosal said this earlier when he talked about how you place your trust and what you're placing your trust in. Some people heard about this game not because of them listening to Chris Roberts, it's because they listen to players, or because they listen to people in Discord, or because they listen to people on Spectrum. And so they moved from what was supposed to be, this is what we want to do, this is what we're trying to do this year, to this is what we promised. Or CIG said they were going to. I don't know how many times I've heard people say CIG said they were going to, as if that was a contractual agreement. When everything that we sign and click on says that things can change. Every week, Disco gets up and says things can change. And I know that's a funky place because we're looking for solid ground to stand on when we're on shifting sand. And shifting sand does not feel good. So we're always looking for solid ground that supports the decisions that we made, whether it's a decision to play or a decision to spend money or a decision to hang out with these people. And when that ground shifts, that instability happens, that's what I think generates mistrust. And but the reality is we are in a shifting sand situation, not a solid concrete sidewalk situation.
Correct. Can I answer Cloak and Bear? He says, what is pre-alpha? Pre-alpha is a phase where the core mechanics are not done.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not done.
When the game reaches
you're bringing in phases. You're bringing people in and say, I want you to test you running through the woods.
Concept. It's more concept based.
Yeah, we got these weapons in. That's it.
Yeah.
We got facial. That's it. So that's pre-alpha. Pre-alpha is they don't got all the tools ready. It's not there. They're doing it in phases to get this tool in and that tool in. And once all the tools are in, then where the game is developed in the white box stage, then it goes to alpha.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure people understand that bit between pre-alpha and alpha. Pre-alpha is tools are being created, and that's what you're testing.
And not just tools. It's also the testing of concepts. Right. That's why in the early days we would get things like Tessa. Tessa came in and then Tessa left. That was them testing the concept of what a mission giver would be, right? Those are the things that come and go in the earlier stages of the game when we're saying, here's some ideas that we want to see how they go. And if we like them or don't like them, then we're going to develop them more. And to Colosal's point, then you move to alpha. And alpha is now the place where some of those things are in, but they're not locked in. When you go to beta, that's when you lock in the basic game elements that you think your game is going to be built upon. And then that's another level of testing just to see if everything works together. And then you start moving toward optimization and all the other things and refinement and polish after that. So there are these different stages. But I wanted to emphasize that I think that that's where the difficulty comes in, because when I say this is ready for deep testing, which is what this weekend, for example, the idea of 4.0 coming out, this is deep testing. CIG dropped this because everybody's on freaking vacation. It's Christmas, it's the holidays. Everybody's going to play the game and jump in and start beating the game up. And when stuff starts breaking, that's the point. The point isn't to get in and play it and everything is fine. The point is we need everybody in right now to beat this sucker up and find all the problems in it, because everybody's home to do it. You wait till after Christmas and New Year's, folks are going back to work. You lose the numbers and everything else. Yeah, it's painful. But
break it.
That's how we do it. That's how we get the thing working.
I mean, that's the whole point, because, I mean, thanks for coming to me saying, yeah, the elevators are busted. Great. Did you report it? Thanks for coming to me saying, oh, yeah, I'm falling to the earth. Okay, great. Fantastic. Did you report it? It probably is reported. But guess what? We already know this.
Yeah.
It's a testing thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Some people may be that frustrated to where they can no longer play it because the game is broken. Well, no.
Yeah,
we know that, because that's the whole point.
Yeah, and let me go to Andy's point here. Andy says it wasn't stable before it went to preview live. That makes me think that it wasn't for testing purposes. And guys, I'm going to say this one more time. I don't care if it's in preview, if it's in test preview. I don't care if it's in PTU. I don't care if it's in hotfix or it's live. They're all testing platforms. They're all testing platforms. Now, mind you, I agree with you that as we move up the ladder from tech preview to PTU to live, that we should expect better performance and better gameplay, that the game should get better as it goes. But there can be time. When I was on Space Tomato Show today, right when our show started, we all got a message saying that all of a sudden the Moby-Glass was not giving out any missions. Now, that was not happening before we went live. But evidently, when we went live, something happened and somebody did something and found something and boom. So now we found something else out. So I get the dynamic of that. When we see those progressions, we want the game to be doing better. I get that. But there's still that freaking clause in there, guys, no matter how much we like it or don't like it, that still says that things can be busted. Things can be broken. Go ahead, Almost.
I also want to say that, I told y'all that I was going to wait till 4.0 before I really started
which you
playing.
did. Yep, which you did. Mm-hmm.
But I actually did sneak in a couple of times into 324.
Okay.
And you know what my experience was? Nah, 324 is broken. There were times where I exploded in my own hangar. There were times where I couldn't get out of my... This is 324, right? The one that's supposed to be quote-unquote live right now. My experience in 4.0 already has been massively better than 324. So... Yeah. Okay. I mean, people can say what they want about that. It's just always like when people forget how bad things once were. Yeah. That's what I feel like what's happening. Okay. They're saying 4.0 is a mess. It's way worse than 318. It's like, you don't remember how bad 318 was? It's nowhere close. So, in my opinion, 4.0 currently, as I've been playing it, is already running better than 324. Okay, so that's it.
All right, thanks, bro. All right, we're going to push through these last couple because we still have a little bit more to do, Colossal, tonight. So let me bring in Admiral Kusanagi and then Fist to Face, and then we're going to hit our last topic, I think. Hey, Admiral.
Hey, sir. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I feel like I need to read some stuff here because I know people aren't reading them.
Okay.
When you go to purchase something on RSI, it's gonna tell you something, and most people say, "I agree," and don't read it. And it's called there's a disclaimer, and it says, "Welcome to Open Development. Congratulations, Star Citizen is an epic space game of uncompromising scale and fidelity, and you now have access to see its development progress, to share your feedback, to help us shape this game before its release. A pledge is not a purchase. This order includes content that is in development and not yet ready for release in the game. It is therefore considered a pledge. You will gain access to the unreleased content when it becomes available in the game. Until then, you will have access to an in-game item of similar function. Pledge funds help us to finance development of the game and are subject to a 14-day refund policy and cannot be returned to you after the refund period has elapsed. Your pledges are final. Open alpha access isn't for everybody. Because the game is still a work in progress, there are bugs and changes to design. In addition, in-game items, content, and features may take longer to realize than originally estimated. So anything they tell you at the initial, like say the Guardian, say, hey, we think, it's going to be out like next year. It could take 3-5 years. That's why we have a 14-day refund. But after that period elapses, pledges are final. By placing your order, you acknowledge that you have read, understood, and accepted the above in our further terms of service, in particular section fundraising and pledges. This pledge grants you access to the Star Citizen Open Alpha, which Star Citizen is currently in production, and there are features, content, and technology still to implement to realize the full vision of the game. We regularly update our Open Alpha with releases that include work-in-progress features and software that will be improved in future releases. See the roadmap. Your pledges grants you early access to the Open Alpha so you can play Star Citizen before others who would normally, have to buy the game to get into a finished product. And then you have to agree to the terms and services and privacy policy. The funny thing about this disclaimer, like 3 out of the 4 hyperlinks don't work. They give you 404 errors, which is kind of funny. But the terms and service do open up, and they give you the fun. You can go in to look at the clauses and stuff like that. And it talks about, that RSI is conducting a crowdfunding campaign to support the development and so forth. And, and that's, and you can read all of it if you want. Yeah. But it's just that, I just bought a Star Lancer TAC, in Citizen Con. I haven't played the game in 6 months, but I want it to be still developed. I have faith that what I've seen since I've been here since 2015, 2016, that they've moved forward and that they've been releasing stuff that's way beyond what I thought I was going to see in 2015, 2016. Like the fact that, somebody on their off time figured a way for us to land in all the planets certainly changed the development of this game. Like, because again, people who don't know, we were just supposed to get landing splines and land on the planet and then take off, and then that's all we'd have. We'd have like maybe 2 or 3 POIs on a planet. So, like it's and then now we get like 3,500. So it's greatly expanded what Star Citizen means for everybody in here, and to include your grandchildren and great grandchildren probably, which you can all will off in some document after you die. But this is what it's really interesting. Like, oh, well, they didn't do this. I'm like, we saw the version of Squadron 42, like at Citizen Con, a year ago. Like, they showed up, though, this is the 2017 version, and then this is, like, they show the current version. And in the way everybody saw, like, okay, they should have released the game around 2017, 2018. And we just saw what probably was that game. And you can look at that technology, the way that the graphics were, you're like, okay, but now they look dated. So yes, they could have released the game, but they were probably at a point where, like, hey, you know what? This is actually dated now. We know we can make this much better. So let's just make it much better. And they even asked us, like, hey, but I forget they asked us about, but they were like, do you want us to, like, I forget what, I know people said, yeah, make it better or do whatever.
Oh, back in the day.
There was a big trust thing. Like, do you want us to do this? And people were like, yes, please do this.
Let me ask you a question. Because I'm going to forget what I want to ask you. When you were reading that, there was something you said in there that I don't remember, and it's only because I haven't read the TOS in a long time.
Yeah.
Was there actually something that said that the alpha is not for everybody?
Yes.
They said it.
See, and that's interesting. No, what's interesting,
it's under the third title. It says your pledges are final. That's how it starts off. Open alpha access isn't for everyone.
And that's the interesting thing. because I think that gets either glossed over or just missed. Because I didn't know that was in there, and I've been around forever. So I'm glad you read it. I'm glad you read it.
They've had plenty of. They've had a decade to improve and update terms of service.
But I'm saying that it says something.
But that's where it is.
But my point is that it says something that the company acknowledges the fact that this can be a tough journey, right? That open alpha isn't. Not that the game's not for everybody, but the state of the game may not be for everyone. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow because people want to play the game, but even the company itself is saying that going through this process is not for everybody, and that's just a reality. We've said that on here before, and we try to say it in the most compassionate way because we can understand people's desire to want to play the game. But we also try to tell people, don't beat yourself up or mentally put yourself in the nut house over this game. It's not worth it. It's a game when it's all said and done. Whether you've got $45 or $4,500, it's still a game, and I hate when people get that bothered about a game. Kai said it earlier. Kai said, to minimize my stress, I know that it's better for me to play games that are working, that are fun, that I can have enjoyment from. I'll check in on Star Citizen from time to time, but I don't have to put myself in that situation to be stressed out or even feel like there's an aspect of losing trust when I don't have to.
Don't let yourself be that vulnerable. Manage yourself.
Yeah, well, don't
blame other people for what you do. I mean, and once again, it's testing. It's testing. Mm-hmm. If you are going in channels and telling people the same thing that they've heard for 12 years, you might want to, and you're not doing anything in terms of letting the devs know these things or what have you. And even if you're doing that, you're saying you're tired of doing that, then take a break. You just said, and take a break.
Take a break. Yeah, just take a break.
And take a break and stop bleeding people's ears over that type of stuff, because maybe that type of testing is just not for you.
Well, let me say, can I say something too, though? I don't want to say about
the creation and mortals and things like that and so forth, and those games are still in alpha.
But let me say this. I'm not worried about them bleeding other people's ears. I'm more worried about them bleeding their own ears. Don't beat yourself up over this game. God, listen, we want people to be involved in community and everything else, but oh my God, don't beat yourselves up where you've lost sleep or angry or your blood pressure's up over a game. I don't care if it's Star Citizen or any game. Gaming was supposed to be about coming to escape from all the drama and everything else that's out there that drives us crazy. And some of us find ourselves going to the thing that drives us crazy and getting our blood pressure up even higher. Take a step back if you have to.
That's what the thing, so originally I wouldn't go in the PU. I played the PU originally, and then I'm like, oh, screw this crap because it's too buggy for me. I'll let Evocati deal with it. And since I've stopped playing that, now they have the EPTU.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll have the G and TPTU, and they'll throw a couple of other letters in there. Yeah. And then and now we got 4.0 and 3.24 out at the same time. So it's they've got all these different servers out. But I've been playing other games, and people have watched me. I in Soul Citizens. I stream in Discord, and some people have actually joined me in the other games. There's a couple of people in this chat who have joined me, and we have a great time playing other games.
Yep.
It's not like I don't think Star Citizen is the most beautiful, have the most beautiful landscapes, have great graphics, but there are issues I have with, say, some mechanics and how they work, and how frustrating they can be to do what some would think would be menial, easy things, like going in an elevator. Apparently elevators don't work now. Okay, to get from here to here, I need to be able to use an elevator. I need to get from here to here to use a tram at Microtech. So there's stuff like that, which frack this crap. I don't have time for that shit. I got a certain amount of time during the day.
Right.
People have to go goddamn Christmas shopping. So I haven't even started Christmas shopping.
I know. Admiral, I gotta get going. I gotta get going. Wrap it up. I gotta get going. I gotta get fist
but people have to figure out what makes them happy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And if we've been laughing our asses off in something else that is pretty fun. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like if you're not having fun, like I went to, I've done like Helldivers 2. I'm constantly having fun because it's so active, and it ends in like 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I could do another one, and it's constantly fun. And there's other games you could do with more people, and other games with MMOs or whatever. But if that game is not enjoyable for you and it feels like a job, like I know there's some people in chat here, there's other people streaming, and they don't like moving boxes. They're like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to move all these boxes. It's like a job. And I'm like, well, it's a cargo career job if that's what you want to do. If you want to do cargo, that's your thing. You want to do a courier service, that's what you have to do.
Wrap it up, Admiral. So, wrap it up. I gotta move on.
One more question. Yeah, face to face is above me. He's got at least half an hour.
No, he's not. All right, thanks, buddy.
In other words, Helldivers is a done game.
I know. I had to laugh. I had to laugh at Black Intellect. He said, Black Intellect said, some people just like being angry. And then somebody said, yeah, the Sith. That was at you, Kelosal. I want you to know that. That was a shot. And that was
it. Probably was a good thing that I didn't see it.
All right. Last but not least, let's bring in Fist to Face. Hey, Fist.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right, buddy.
I'll be short and sweet. I haven't lost trust in CIG.
Okay.
And I'll say this very quickly to those in chat and to you too. Y'all remember a game called Chronicles of Illyria?
Woo! Yeah. Yeah, came and went.
Y'all remember?
Still in court. Yeah. 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 A lot of people lost money on that. Don't say that around. Sub Vigio lost big money in that one. Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, that was another Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That failed,
yeah,
folks.
They raised millions. They raised millions of dollars and failed.
Sir.
Not as much as Star Citizen, but they did raise millions of dollars, and people lost out completely on that.
Was one of the games that was on my radar. That was that I was backing as. Actually, I'm in Ashes of Creation right now, playing right now, testing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't lost trust yet.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some things that I have concerns, but not trust.
Okay.
you know.
Fair enough.
But
Okay. No.
I think, like y'all said, very simply though, I think the problem sometimes though is, I say this very briefly. Learning from the marketing team is like when you look at the alpha, when you look at playable now, if they put testing now, it doesn't hit as hard. So I get it.
you know, but let me ask this question: would you get the same amount of people coming if you said testing? I know that's what we would like to see, but that's what I wonder. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And that's the thing. No, you wouldn't, because for example, like when I look for tutorials, right? For example, people name tutorials the ultimate guide to 3D in Houdini. Why do they put the ultimate guide?
Yeah.
Because it's a marketing selling point. And you make you feel like, oh my God, this is the end of all be all to tutorials that's going to make me gain all of the knowledge that I need to obtain in this thing. No, it's not.
Yeah. So you think playable now versus available for testing, you would not get the same response?
You wouldn't.
Okay.
You wouldn't.
Okay. That's fair.
You wouldn't.
That's fair from a marketing standpoint. Okay. I get it.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. I mean,
okay. All right.
I'll give you another game that failed, Fist. Concord.
What you got?
Concord, the biggest flop in gaming history.
Yeah, we saw that one too.
200 to 400 million done, going, flop, out, deuces. Folks, so calm down.
Calm down. Yeah, I will say that. You are correct. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And you know what? Go back to your Evercrest. Listen, Sony Online Entertainment, I got a bone to pick with them too. Because remember, I was in DC Universe for 10 years, right? I understand. I understand you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, Fist. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Doesn't matter. It's still Sony. It's still that butt plug of Sony.
Boy, don't even get me started, because you know we could go. You know what game we could go back to that Sony really screwed up. We don't even want to start that fire. All right, guys. Sorry, we were on that topic a long time. We're going to make this a little bit more lighthearted now. At least I think this will be a little bit more lighthearted. Tomorrow's show for us. Every year, Soul Citizens do a show at the end called Holiday Wishes, and we're going to do a little pre of that with you guys today. And my question is for the future, in your future feelings, what would you, my bad spelling, what would you like to see change in the persistent universe, or about the persistent universe? Is there something in the game development where it's going right now, the direction, something that you would like to see change, or something actually come about or happen for 2025? Okay, for next year. All right, we were already monkeying around with 4.0. What would be something that for you'd say this would be really cool if CIG, they talked about this, maybe they could get this thing going in the game, and that would really kind of make things really cool for you for next year. I think Kaizen was first, so let's bring him in. Whoops, I dropped him in the wrong room. There we go, Kai, you there?
Star Wars Galaxy says.
Oh, shut up! Don't you dare! Don't you dare bring the game up!
Hello, Star Wars Galaxy, greatest game ever made, and fucking abandoned. That game deserved better. Okay, what would I like to see out of CIG? I would like to see them shut up and release a product. Thanks, I'm out.
Okay, release the game. That's it. That's what he wants to see. I think we have Pops in space next. Let's bring in Pops. I think it was Pops. I'm sorry, Jade, if you were first. Pops?
Garbage.
What you got, Pops?
Where everybody becoming the Jedi. Garbage. Star Wars Galaxy.
Pops,
this is what I want. Aliens in the game.
Aliens. You want to see the first aliens pop into the game. Aliens. Yeah. Okay. All right, Pops. I'll buy that for $1. All right. Let's bring in Jade, Star Watcher. Hey, Jade.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So the thing I want in Star Citizen is the whole citizen aspect of Star Citizen. And I mean, beyond what we saw at Citizen Con, right? What I've seen a lot, especially in Pyro, and I'm not complaining because y'all know that I'm into PvP, but I need to channel Lady Space Patrol since she's not here right now.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the recent development has been about how can I shoot things, how can I kill it, and that's not why a lot of the people came over from Second Life, right? They wanted that vision of Second Life in the universe, right? And that meant there'd be as much attention to non-combat type things, to social things that we don't really see yet. It doesn't seem like the emphasis is there. I mean, we got this 890 jump. It's this big flagship. You and I know, Griff. Like it's the flagship of a whole other aspect of Star Citizen that we seldom. Hey, you live in garbage on Norville, so you can't talk. You can't talk about garbage. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but you live on a garbage heap. You can't call a ship like that garbage. Anyway, back on track. I would just like to see them revisit, Chris Roberts' original vision of the whole citizen aspect, and not just, let's go kill something. It's all about missions to kill. It's all about killing your other players. Yeah. Like it's Star Citizen, not Star Killer. And I, like I said, I love PvP. I've been about it since 2.5. But I feel for, and I am part of the role play community, so I feel for those people and other people who've come to the project that want more of that. A little bit more life in the verse aspect that's not involving, going out and shooting something.
That's fair. Okay, thanks, Jade. All right, let me bring in, I'm going to bring in Fast Car because he hasn't been in yet. Hey, FC.
Anyway, I must apologize for the citizens of Lorville in terms of that comment. Jade's comments do not represent anything dealing with soul citizens in reference to Lorville. It is a wonderful place. Long live the Empire, and we do our work. Sign a contract and wear a mask.
well, I was gonna say something about Jade. We can't call it Star Killer anyway, because that's a Star Wars trademark. The Star Wars already got it. Gotta give it a Star Killer. Something else now, but yeah. What I wanted to say was, for 2025, take care of some of the ship backlog. They have a whole bunch of ships that had been in concept for ages. I'm not gonna give specific or time or whatever, but just take care of some of the ship backlog.
Okay, backlog. Okay, that's fair. All right, thanks, FC. Let me bring in Almost Over here. Almost, you there?
Hello, good sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Fast Cart didn't want to get specific, but I will.
Okay.
Go ahead and bring in the BMM. And that's all I'd like to see change. Thank you very much.
Oh, Lord, the BMM. What y'all want a BMM around for? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing with it except for burn gas. Let me bring in Cypher. Oh, come on. Why is my goofy Discord acting up here? Here we go. Let's bring Cypher in. There he is. Hey, Cypher.
Hey, what's up?
Yes, sir. What's your wish?
My wish is to have a little bit better of a protection system as far as like, the UEE showing up to protect people if they need it. And quite possibly, and maybe far-fetched, but quite possibly end up, being a little bit harsher if someone pops a beacon and they gank your shit for it,
Cypher, were you around back in the time? Because I know you just said it was in the last few years, and I've kind of lost track of stuff, so bear with me if you were. Were you around back in the day when the UEE would show up at Port Olisar?
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember at one point, and this was just one point, it didn't last very long, where both the UEE and the guns I remember witnessing this a couple times. Some people flew in who had crime stats, right? They were red as soon as they came in. They had about 10 seconds, 12 seconds to try to get out of there, or they got nailed when they approached it. And this is a great example of, folks, of when we talk about stuff that's pre-alpha, how stuff comes in and then it's taken away. This is a great example of that when CIG was testing something that usually will come back in a better form later. And people have been asking for, those boundaries, especially with them wanting to say that they want to drop the zones that protect certain areas, but they do. And, with CIG talking about base building, they want to be able to put up turrets and things that you can put up to protect your property. But I do think that I'm hoping, and I agree with you, that we would start to see that AI step up at that level. That's the other problem, too, is the AI thing. But if we could get those responses from UEE when you're in UEE space, I would really like that. In UEE space, obviously in Pyro, we wouldn't see that. But then what we would see are the gangs responding, right? If you're doing some bad stuff in their areas too. Yeah, an AI step up like that would be great, I think.
I kind of look at it as, the UEE is supposed to be the badasses of Stanton, right? They're the ones that protected us and all that crap. Well, okay. If that's the case, and their fleet was so big, and they're starting to sell off all their ships to the civilians and shit, how come there aren't more?
Yeah,
where are those fuckers when I get ganked and I just, got my shipment or whatever it is I'm packing, and I'm just tooling along, farting in space, and next thing you know, somebody comes up and says, "Hey, give me all your shit."
Yeah. See, the part of the issue is that the only security that we have Jade just said what I was getting ready to say. Part of the issue is that in Stanton, the planets are responsible for their own security levels, right? So what we would have to see, like I said, with Port Olisar, there was this example of response there. I just want to see whoever it is, the security, except for when you go to frickin' Hurston. You ain't got to worry about the security there. Them jokers stop you just because you're trying to. You haven't even left the hangar and they freaking stop you in Hurston. So, but I agree with you, Cypher. It would be good to see certain levels of security kind of bump up and step up.
Safe and secure.
Oh, Lord.
Society.
Thank you, Cypher. All right, last but not least, let's bring in Admiral Kusanagi. Yeah, Admiral.
I just want to see some science.
Science. Okay.
They can release a new ship because this game needs some more funding and like a medium science ship and talk about what in the actual hell they're doing with science.
Okay.
Because it's such a we know what we're kind of getting with engineering now. We know we're getting the crafting stuff and we're not 100% sure that's going to work, but we get an idea with the
what science would be.
Forth. But the science is kind of the big question there. And I would love to see something like that because I guess that gives you a better idea of what the potential is for exploration.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to bring us back from the first question. So that's kind of like what I would love to see something change is get something about science.
Yeah, that's a great one, Admiral. Thank you. Yes, science would be great. Kelosal, what about you? What's something you would like to see pop in for 2025, the next big step to come in?
I would see my Endeavor. That's what I would like to see.
Oh boy, you're going to talk about a ship. Give me something else other than a ship. What else? What do you want to see gameplay wise that you would like to see them implement?
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, every time they put something in, I'm okay with it. Like I said, I'm okay with testing in general.
Okay.
So it's for me, I recognize what they're doing. I recognize what my role is when I go in there, and I go in there with the eyesight of helping them.
Well, okay. Let me rephrase the question. You're a big Carrack owner. Would you like to see the cartography kicked in, for example, on that ship?
It'd be nice if I saw the cartography. It'd be nice if the area around the cartography had that whole entire wall, that whole entire oval or circle area had panels that the entire wall area had panels. Maybe something that we see in Star Trek when they were going through the Nemesis, when they're trying to fighting the Nemesis and things like that.
Yeah.
If it would, it's a circular wall. I want to see that entire room have nothing but panels all on the interior of the walls, and then of course you get that middle hologram thing that needs to be working there. It needs to be a big old huge globe there. I would love to see those functionalities. I would love to see more of the functionalities of the interiors of the ship, the MFDs and stuff like that working the next go around.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see, you guys know that on the ships, many of the ships, we have other areas where we don't have components yet, such as radar, the computer systems, batteries. I would love to see all those things become a part of the engineering next year. I would love to see engineering really blow up. And I don't mean in a way that it cripples players from playing, but I just want to see the functionality of it start to grow so that becomes another part of the gameplay that's really important to us as players. So let me share this with you guys. One last thing. I told you guys today's show was called Milestones, and the very first topic we talked about was exploration. I just noted the other day that there was a new, and Fast Card I think shared this too, there was a new package that was added on the Star Citizen website called the Ultimate Exploration Pack. And Kelosal, guess what they did? It's the same Mega Exploration Pack, except they switched out one of the ships. The ship that they switched out was the 600i for the 400i. So my question is going to be, is that because the rework for 600i might be coming soon? I'm just going to throw that out there. But they swapped it out. They took the 600i out of that package and they put the 400i in that package. So it would be interesting to see what happens with that package later on. For those of you who are into exploration. The price is still the same. I think that package is still like $1,100 or $1,300 or $1,200, something like that. The price didn't change. Everything else in there is the same. All the other ships are the same, except for that one. So we'll have to see where they go with that. Okay. Yeah, let's wrap this thing up. Okay, we do have an announcement to make. One more announcement. As I told you, this show this week was called Milestones. Thank you again. This is our 100th episode today. We have done 100 episodes of Soul Voices. Colosal's here to help me celebrate it. And also, we're going to have the player haters here afterward to help us celebrate too. But I also have some other news that goes along with that. And that is also that this is also the last Soul Voices episode. Not for 2024. This is the last one. We are wrapping it up with this 100th episode today. And so I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for giving us time on Saturdays, sitting with us each week. For those of you who have faithfully come in and shared with us and conversations, the debates, the hot, intense conversations, the laughs, all that great stuff. Really appreciate the support that you guys have given us over all this time. But we'll still be around, still going to be doing Sunday shows, still going to be Thursday shows. We do have something special that we're going to be working on for next year in 2025, which we will share with you guys a little bit later. But believe me, it's going to be well worth it. But I really need to re-energize my focus and prepare for that next year, as well as our Sunday shows. So I want to say thank you to all of the folks who've come on, who've hung out. Kelosal, especially today, helping me close out the last show today. All the Soul team members that have come on and been co-hosts, all the guests who've come on and hung out with us. Really appreciate it, because you guys have made this show and Saturday afternoons a lot of fun. And of course, there's still more fun because we know Paul Shelley and other people are on. But we're getting ready to go and let the player haters come on. So I want to ask you guys to give us a couple minutes. There's going to be a commercial that's going to come on. That commercial may run twice because we need a little extra time because it's not a long commercial. But I think you'll want to watch the commercial anyway and maybe see it twice anyway because it's kind of a cool commercial. So we are going to get ready to do that. And when we come back, we'll be back with the player haters. So stick around, and we'll be right back. Okay, ciao.
Soul Citizens, the network that has brought you compelling programs about citizens, backers, refunders, white knights, pirates, salty space dogs, whales, dolphins, care bears, griefers, and grifters. Now, the Soul Citizens Network gives you another side of the story as we go into the world of the haters. The Soul Citizens present the Playa Haters.
What up, what up, what up, what up, players. I gotta get this other bad player. He late as always. Let me get this brother up in here. What's up, my brother Blackjack? What's up with that psychedelic background you got going on, brother? Uh-oh, I can't hear that brother. Is he muted? Are you muted, brother? Unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Express yourself.
I got distracted of looking at myself in the mirror. Boy, I look gorgeous on this Christmas, celebrating this pre-Christmas stuff going on here. Y'all wish y'all could be me, but you ain't me. But let me show you where I'm really at in terms of the background. Merry Christmas to the great state of Florida.
Well, it's good to see you, Blackjack. It's been a little while. Up that hat, I don't know if that hat, well, yeah, okay. I'm not going to say nothing about that hat. Unfortunately,
this is what happens when y'all are not prepared to be in the Christmas mood. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yeah, mazel tov to you too. So listen, this week, unfortunately, two of our other brothers could not be here. As you can see, Lock G and Grim Hex, they are both represented here as mannequins, as they always were on this show. And so I just want you to know that we want to acknowledge them because they have helped us build this show in a very, very special way. We don't want to forget about our two brothers. We love them. We miss them. And I'll say adios at the same time. Blackjack, any words you want to say to these two brothers?
They would have been lost even if they were here. Merry Christmas, brothers. Y'all do a lot for this show, but it's probably good that y'all not on the show because that's y'all doing a lot for this show by not being on this show. Appreciate the time that you've given me for entertaining these folks here.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Two down, one to go, if you know what I mean. So anyway, my brother, let's talk about what's going on right here most recently with the show here. We got a couple of the starter questions. For those of you who don't know, if you'd like to come in and talk to the player haters, you are more than welcome to come in. We're going to throw a couple questions up here for you. And if you want to come in and share your thoughts with us, feel free. But don't come in here hating. If you come in here hating, you're going to get 30K. We let you know that right up front. So let's get our very first question here. Let's see what the first question is. Okay, here's my first question to you, Blackjack, aka Idris K. Did Star Citizen 4.0 go live, or is it just a bunch of jive? What do you got to say to that? These two
y'all jiving already because you upset that it's live, and since y'all upset that it's live, you want to run around here throwing this fictitiously lie that it's not live. I'm enjoying 4.0 because it is live in two ways, Griff. In two ways, G-Live.
In two live. Yeah, it's a little too live, right? It's two live. Okay, so you got two live. It's the two live crew. Okay. All right. I would say, is it a bunch of jive? Yeah. Okay.
And that's driving that fake gold necklace that you got around your neck.
I will say that I'm glad it's out there, and I'm hoping that over the next few weeks it gets better and better, just like good wine does. I know you don't know nothing about good wine, Blackjack, but it's like good wine gets better and better. I hope that this patch gets better and better over the holiday. You drink it. The holiday season. Okay, let's go to our next question before we
this
bring
good
in.
Wine is so good it's got a name with two words. It's called None Your Business.
None Yo. Drinking None Yo. Okay. Here's the next question for you. Currently, is Star Citizen 4.0 a preview or a PU? Which one would you want to say? From your little time that you've had in the persistent universe, would you say that you had a good time, or would you say that your time was not well spent?
Well, I'm so sorry that some of these people may think that it is a PU. It is definitely a preview. That's what it pretty much is. So I can understand how they'll try to make that connection, because it's a very good connection in the fact that they are going to instantly see Pyro maybe for a good hour.
Okay, an hour. A good hour. Why are they only going to see it for an hour?
Some of them don't know how to get out of hangars. They claim the doors are not opening. They claim that they're falling through and all this good stuff. So, I mean, they're having a PU moment in the preview.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I know why his hangars ain't opening.
Doors and ships.
I know why
his flying around Pyro in a wonderful way. I'm having a blast over here.
I know why your hangar doors ain't open. You ain't paying your rent probably. But anyway, let's see if we can tackle one more. I think we got one more question. No, we've answered those questions. So now we're gonna go to Ask a Player. All right, this is the time where you can come in and ask the player haters any question you like, anything you'd like to share with us, feel free. And at this moment, we're going to bring in the one and the, where's my mouse at? I got my mouse in the wrong spot. The one and the only KZ, and KZ, the master player himself, is coming in. What's up, KZ?
Hey.
You got it.
First off, to Blackjack, Merry Christmas Kwanzaa right there, my brother. He got his
Merry Christmas back at you, son.
Ho-hos.
He called you a hoe? Did he call you a hoe, brother?
I know he did. They called me down the street. They called me in the street. They called me Hope.
There you go.
The word H-O in front of it.
So what you got there, KZ?
For Ask a Player, here you go. Let's see which one of y'all are legit. Who knows, who remembers this one is talking about, as far as about talking about what you're drinking.
Uh-oh.
What's the word?
Thunderbird. Look at that,
What's
brother.
the price? What's the price? Come on, what's the word? Thunderbird. What's the price? 80 twice.
Oh, 80 twice.
Because it was
$1.65. That's right. I forgot about that. That's right.
Hell yeah.
See,
hell yeah.
See, Blackjack, I'm a half a player. You a zero player, and the master player just came in here. Ain't that a trip?
So, the master, whatever master that was, it had no concept of what's going on. I mean, maybe I should go ahead and wear these glasses right here and literally show you how I feel about that statement.
Damn, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
All right, I hope we see the player haters on the other Soul Citizens productions. And let me just say, Chris Roberts, hit me up when Star Citizen is a game that you play with your PC and not your credit cards. I'm out.
Oh, listen to that. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
He deserves the 30K on that.
Oh, it's a post 30K. Post 30K. But that's all right. Brother came here and expressed himself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see who we got next. We got, oh, Lord. We got a wannabe player. The Merchant Man has popped up. The Merchant Man. What's up, Merchant Man?
Yeah, I'm here in the house. How y'all doing?
Oh, Lord. Wait a minute. Listen, wait a minute. Hang on. Let's play this for the Merchant Man. All right, let's see if we can get it working. Is it going to work?
Right, get it working.
There we go. There we go. Well, all right, Merchant Man. We should gonna play that music every time you come in the room, every time you come in the house. Mothership.
All right.
The mothership.
All right.
Digging it. All right, well, the mothership. What you got for us, Merchant Man?
Dig that. So my question for Ask a Player is, what's been your favorite moment in 2954? Your favorite moment in 2954?
The favorite moment was whenever you were not on the screen. Because all those jokes, I don't know if I can get. I had to take a Dramamine just to stay up. It's just. I mean, I love you to death. I love you to death. But my favorite moment is when. Yeah.
2954. Favorite moment of 2954. 2954. I don't know if I had a favorite oh, you know what? I'll tell you my favorite. I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite moments in 2954. It actually was either yesterday or day before yesterday. Almost Over, who said he was gonna wait till 4.0 came out, even though he said he cheated. He was so excited to jump through a jump point, and I sat and watched him, and I could hear his excitement and enthusiasm for waiting for that moment. And it was so cool to watch somebody else experience going through that jump hole like that. Because when I went my first time, I got shot. So I had to live it vicariously. That's a big word, Blackjack. I know you might want to look that up. Vicariously.
Vicarous? Is that what you said? Vicarously?
That brother. All right, what's your name? Merchant Man. Thank you, Merchant Man. We'll play that music.
No, I do have a.
Yes.
Can I give you my favorite moment?
Oh, yes. What is your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was when a certain person got triggered and went crazy on about people playing solo.
All right, we don't want to know anything about that particular subject. The 30K came up. I'm not sure who he may have been referring to, but we're going to move right along here and let's bring in. No, you don't need to know who that might have been. But let's bring in Cypher. Let's bring Cypher in. Cypher, what's up, my brother?
Hey.
Whoa, that's a player voice. You hear that voice? That is a player voice.
Listen to that.
What's up, player? What you got, player?
My question is, what causes you to say fuck this game?
There's no liquor at the bars to drink. That's what causes me.
I was going to say, I've never had an FTG moment, but I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't had
nothing happen. Where's my Jean-Luc Picard?
Yeah.
Where's the Jean-Luc Picard at? Give me that.
You have to spend a certain amount of money to be able to get that shit in game now, baby.
What's your FTG moment, Cypher? Have you had an FTG moment, or is it still far and away?
Man, that shit happens every day. Like, like I was saying earlier today, love and hate. You know, you can't. You got to have the best of both worlds. You got to hate the game, but you got to love the game because you keep coming back.
All right.
That's the hook.
All right. Well, I love you and I hate what's his name? Blackjack. Thank you for stopping by, my brother. We appreciate you.
The feeling's mutual. You get this all day. You can get that right there. You get that character right there all day.
Last but not least, we got Pops in Space dropping in. What's up, Pops? You gonna sign us out? What's up?
All right. You brothers have been digging the scene.
And with the gangster lean. That's right. That's right.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
And I want to know if y'all are ever gonna have a reunion.
You know, we'll see. We'll have to see. Trying to get these
the
brothers.
only reason why we haven't had one because certain people don't like to pay out. They don't like to pay.
No.
And in order to have my expertise and my experiences, you got to pay some money. But no, they want to go ahead and run around here and thinking that their hat is blinging when it's made of fool's gold. That the chain that they got around their neck, they have to put makeup on the back of their neck because it turned the neck green.
Pops, to answer your question, some of us are quite often confined to quarters, if you know what I mean. And I usually have to wait for them to get out of certain situations via bail before I can get them on this show. So, if some of these players would keep their hands clean, we wouldn't have to worry
take a
about
moment
them.
in life. We do life things, just like Gladstone said. Real life happens.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Pops.
I have a request.
All right, make it quick. What's your request? I got two more players.
Can Blackjack do the Jerry Curl juice for me, please?
Oh Lord, don't get him started.
At this time of year, it's not as moist in the air. So, with that being the case, I'm waiting for my new supply to come out. They call it rocket ship. Rocket ship.
Okay.
It's
All right,
my new
Pops.
brand. You'll see it come out sometime when Squadron 42 comes out.
Juice on, brother. Juice on.
All right, Pops, take care. All right, let's bring in Fist to Face next. We got a couple more people here. What's up, Fist?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
It's your world. It's your world. What's up? What's up?
That sounds good. Hey, listen, players. I would like to know. I've been coming down with a situation. I want to know which bedpan is better, the 600i or the 890?
Oh boy, that's another one, boy, coming in here with all that blasphemy. Had to remove that brother real quick. No time wasted at all.
Good question. I was about to say I'd rather use the Drake.
Oh, here we go. All right, last but not least, we got the one and only coming here naming himself the White Chocolate. I already know where this man coming from. What's up, White Chocolate?
White chocolate. I'm so sweet. I'm so sweet, boy.
He sounded sweet, if you know what I mean,
My question
Blackjack.
to you, fellas, here is where I heard you've all been removed from your sweet places and your locations, and now living in hangars and bus stops. What's going to happen to you? I thought you were all making money.
Well, well, first of all, I don't live in a hangar.
I support that chocolate until he started talking and went from white to sour.
I heard they pulled you out. You weren't paying your taxes, and they put you in the hangar. And I believe that's where you are. You're sleeping on a couch.
Well,
how can you afford that Santa hat if you're living on a couch?
Let's just
you don't know what I can afford. What I should be able to afford is the mute button. That's
that Jerry curl, I'll tell you right now, that Jerry curl, the hair salon's gonna have to pull that back because your loan's gonna go
You're
up
just
on
upset because you don't have this style. So I got products named after me. You running right here with fictitious names of white chocolate.
Okay, we gotta get rid of white chocolate. We gotta get rid of white chocolate. Listen, for those of y'all don't know it, well, let me talk about your boy Blackjack. Blackjack, he live in a hangar, and y'all know he live in Hurston or Lorville. He's the only person I know that when he went to Pyro, he said, there's no place like home. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. All right. So
I'm letting you get away with that because y'all don't understand what a contract's like. Some of y'all can't even write your own names on a piece of paper. So I understand. I get it. All the hate. That's perfectly fine. Because at least I got a JOB or HURSTON, which some of y'all need to get a job anyway. So I'm going to drink to my success. Merry Christmas. Long live the Empire.
All right. So we go wrap it up. The player haters are going to wrap it up for the final episode of Soul Voices. Again, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, checking us out, laughing with us, giving us a little room to just have a little fun at the end of the day. hopefully brighten your holiday season with our little bit of humor. And I do mean
I want to thank you
a little bit
for reaching 100, even though you don't look 100 today, sir, and you don't feel 100, and you may not give us a 105 today, but all the things that you do is always 100.
All right.
Go, G-Lock.
You know what?
Birthday,
you know what we should do is that we should have did an auction. We could have auctioned off either your hat. I could have auctioned off my scepter. You know, we had to think about that. Maybe we'll do something like that. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to think about it, see what goes on with that. All right. $3. Lock. All right, listen. Today is PodSat Saturday. You know, when we partner with other Star Citizen content creators. One of them being the great Paul Shelley over at the Captain's Table, which we're going to be sending you guys over to in just a couple minutes, so that you can follow up with the latest and greatest on Star Citizen. I'm sure his conversation will be tremendously built around the release of 4.0 and the holidays and end of year stuff. So be sure that you guys check out our good friend, Mr. Paul Shelley. Let's see. Also, later on this evening, we'll be going over to Relay, the OGs of Star Citizen. Brother's been around a long time. We've been following them for a long time. They're good friends of ours, and we would hope that you guys would check them out as well. For me
to grow this hair.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. I gotta type in my right thing here. Is he on right now? I don't even see the Astro Pub. Is he on? Yes, he is. Oh, yes, he's on right now. All right. So that's going to be later on this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow is our end of year show. Always each year we wrap it up with a show called Holiday Wishes, where you will get to hear us come on and talk about our feelings about the past, Christmas past, or not Christmas past, Star Citizen past, Star Citizen present, Star Citizen future, and our wishes for the community and for CIG. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. We're going to have some special giveaways tomorrow, so please make sure that you're here for that as well. We're going to be giving away some really nice stuff, and hope you guys will be able to participate in that. Once again, we want to tell everybody thank you for your support. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for continuing with us. Thank you to all the people who've helped us create this show. Special thanks again to my good friend Blackjack, aka Kelosal, who's here today, and to our shout outs to both Calrati, who's Grimhex Brethren, also to Lock G, which is Dark Knight 75. Really appreciate them also and all the work that they've lent toward this. And we're going to go to Paul. We're going to get ready to hop over there with him. I'm going to tell you guys thank you again, and want to say stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the holidays. Get in there with 4.0. Beat it up. Tell them what's up. Enjoy yourself while you can. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace, love, and soul. We'll see you. Happy 100.
Service, you know, that they have in the background. The replication layers.
Need a hand?
I'm good.
Ooh, water spots? Not on my watch.
Woo!
We're out, bro.
All right.
Wait.
Tell me
Wait.
what you want from this.
It's trying to restart again. I got to stop it.
Crime, but we can only do it with your help.
I want to be normal.
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Who knows where it will lead?
So what is it? Drugs, guns, gangs?
All of the above. I promised myself I wouldn't get
Come on.
again. The killer is telling us the